Hello wonderful people, I've got a little secret for you today, and it all started with this comment. This comment was posted about a month ago and I wanted to test it straight away, but I never had the chance to for some reason. And I did the testing yesterday and oh boy, the results were very satisfying since it worked, actually worked. As you can see here, I have two staffs equipped. Now, how does this glitch basically work is when you buff your left staff. So in case you don't know, let me just explain quickly. Staffs do have their own battle art or weapon art, whatever you want to call it. And it's a buff, a self buff for a limited time. And it actually increases the damage significantly. Now when you buff your staff on your left hand, it actually buffs the staff also on your right hand. Although it doesn't show visually because once you do the weapon art, the staff actually glows blue. So the one on your right doesn't glow blue, but it does actually get the buff. And why do you ask this is significant? Why were you saying PvPSkillz? What's important about this? There is a staff called Crystal Sage staff, and the thing that makes it unique in the game is that it has the best weapon art buff for a staff. So at 50 intelligence when you buff it, for example when you do the weapon art, it's actually stronger than the Court Sorcerer staff, which is considered the best staff in the game. So the plan is to use the best weapon art for staves from the Crystal Sage staff and use that buff on the Court Sorcerer staff, which is the best staff in the game. And you mix the best buff with the best staff and voila! You have the best damage in the game. The Court Sorcerer's staff cannot out-damage this setup in any way. Even if you buff it and have a Scholar Candlestick on your other hand, it will still not out-damage this setup. Another cool thing going for this setup is usually when you buff your staff and change it, let's say you change it to a weapon and then go back to the staff, the buff is gone. However, that's not the case here. So once you buff your Crystal Sage staff on your left hand, you can actually change to a weapon on your right hand, use like a long sword, and then go back to the staff on your right hand and it will still have the buff as long as the buff is still on your left hand. You can see me demonstrating this here, and you can see me changing the weapon and then going back to the staff, and it's still dealing the same damage, and that's really cool. That means you can change a weapon with no worry, because without this setup would have been very limited. So you can go back and forth from your weapon and your staff, which is a very cool thing and a useful thing indeed. There are also other ways you can use this setup. You can use it on a low intelligence build, for example, just have 24 intelligence just to wield the Crystal Sage staff on your left hand, and have like a weak staff on your right, and then buff it, and maybe you have like damage much stronger than your level, so you can use it on low level builds. And another thing you can use it for is for dark builds. It definitely works for dark builds. I'm actually using Dark Edge, whatever it's called here in the clips, and it actually works. The damage is pretty good with it. So I'm really excited for this. Even if it's a glitch, it's a new tech, you can consider it. It adds more variety and gives you the best damage for sorceries. So it's pretty cool. Tell me what you think of it. I want to, I want to see people what they're going to be doing with this. I'm really interested to see. So if you want to be a badass sorcerer, make sure to watch this video. It's basically everything you need to know about sorcery, from finding spells to optimizing builds. And now that we know this new piece of information, you can actually optimize it even further. And at the moment, I'm working on multiple videos, so make sure to look forward to that. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. I will leave you with the rest of the clips, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.